Welcome back to Here's Next Door. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are in South Carolina. We are at the Clemson University Fire Department. And you're going to meet up with a guy that may have seen more firehouses than me. So let's go meet Don. So if you remember our video from last year from Fiero, we met up with Don Collins. He is one of the consultants that helped build this building and design this building. So let's go talk to him. Hey, Don.
Hey, Mike.
Good to see you again.
Welcome to Station 92.
Yeah, thank you. So tell me a little bit where we're at right now.
Okay, we're in the upstate of South Carolina, if you want to get that far away.
Okay.
And we're on the edge of Lake Hartwell. We're the only city in South Carolina that's on Lake Hartwell, directly on the lake. We operate two stations, station on campus and a station in the city. This is a city-owned station.
Okay.
But it's staffed with university personnel. They pay the salaries of the staff here.
Okay. Okay.
Through a contract. One of the features of this station is you notice the big parking lot because it has a community room.
Okay.
And at the time this was coming on loan, they wanted to close the community room in the city hall in the basement and make that into office space. So they put a community room out here.
So this room is a very large, almost conference room then, right?
Right. And it can be configured for about 80 people. There's a placard somewhere that tells you occupancy 99 people.
Okay.
It gets used a lot as a training space, but it gets a lot of use by all kinds of city functions that come in here where they don't need to be in the city hall council space. They can come in here and meet. So most of the time it's configured as a workspace, and a training room.
Right.
A couple of things that we did over here, we learned from talking to other fire departments. You notice there are two closets. One closet has the storage for the tables and chairs.
Right.
The other closet is the training props.
Okay.
And we wanted to keep those separate so that if we had a birthday party in here, they weren't playing with the training props when they open the storage door.
Right, you keep that for the fire department, make sure that they stay clean.
It has two different kinds of locks on the doors there. One really has no locks, and the other is only the fire department can get to them.
I also noticed you got the big screen, you got the TV monitors, you also have a sink in the back.
Right. That's so they can clean up after themselves in here. And they'll have sometimes catered stuff that's brought in. That's the reason it's there. No refrigeration or anything like that.
Okay.
I think everybody was surprised the number of days in a year this gets scheduled.
Right.
It's way up there.
Okay. And is that scheduled through the fire department or down through City Hall?
City Hall.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the things that where I come from would want to be for my HOA. We have meetings every month. We need a place to meet, and can have, 10, 15, 20 people at a time. This is a good place to do that. Sure. How do you got this all designed? What's your thought process when you designed all that?
Originally, this was a patrol officer's office, and because of what's going on in the university and all the growth over there, the fire chief has actually moved over to this office. He'll probably be around, and we'll catch up with him in just a little bit.
Okay.
But that's what it was originally designed for. And this is the watch room.
Yep.
So the watch room, we don't always staff the watch room, but it's the idea that if someone comes in, they see that room, they're going to have that feeling, I've been observed, they know I'm here. And the rest of the house, of course, is down this hall.
So for those events that they're holding there, is this the public restroom?
This is the public restroom.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they don't bother the operation of the station.
Okay. And then now we're getting into basically the house of the...
This is the firehouse beyond this door. Normally this door is closed.
Okay, yep.
And to our right is our fitness room.
Okay.
Right? It's extremely well equipped.
Okay.
And one of the reasons it's so well equipped is that the athletic department, when they near equipment, they give it to the fire department.
Right.
Prior to this, we were either working out in the bay in the old station, which is not good. It's the dirtiest room in the house. Or we would go to the gym, and that wasn't always possible to find a place to park your rig over at the gym on campus.
Okay.
And then the police department has a small fitness room in the basement of the city police station. So sometimes we were over there, but it's really good to have our own fitness room within the station.
And it looks like they're getting set up. They're doing a lot of testing of their equipment.
This is where our annual fitness exam is taking place, right here in this room. That's what you see there.
Yeah.
That's an outside vendor that comes in and does that.
Okay. And then we come into the house here.
Yeah, we'll walk around and go into the watch room.
Okay.
Really nothing special, but one of the things we wanted to do was to have plenty of space, because we wanted to consider the watch room not just as a watch room, but it's the library, it's the study room. when you want to use a computer and get away from the noise of the TV and the things that are in the day room, then you can come in here. So we made this big enough. But we also wanted to, federal regulations require us to now fill out medical reports in privacy. You used to do them at the kitchen table.
Right, yeah. HIPAA has changed a lot for us.
HIPAA's changed a lot.
This is the kind of thing that I like to see with a consultant that knows what's going on, and the knowledge that you're bringing to building a building like this really is starting to show through.
The next room, this is the office for the officer who takes care of the fleet.
Okay.
So this is it's not our repair center, but it's our service center. We won't, we'll do brake jobs here maybe, but beyond that, we're not going to do transmissions or engine overhauls or anything like that. I'll show you something unique on the apparatus floor though, that's related to that, that other fire departments should consider when they're
Sure.
doing it, if they're servicing anything. You want to go to the apparatus floor next, or
Let's finish the house, and we'll save the apparatus for last.
There are 10 bedrooms in the station,
Okay.
which is way more than the staffing level. But what the mayor at the time wanted to do, we talked to him and said, don't build for the present, build for the future.
That's a key statement right there.
Yeah, build for the future. So that's why their bedrooms are here. Now the other thing that's interesting about it, and Rob Mann says in one of his presentations to the FIRO thing, you can only make up time in your response in the station.
Yeah.
So we moved the bedrooms closest to the apparatus floor to increase that night response.
Right.
The bedrooms have no windows.
Okay.
But each of them is individually controlled temperature-wise. Each of them has their own fan with adjustable speed, and so each fireman can really tailor it to the way he or she is most comfortable.
Right. Because we also learned that sleep deprivation is an issue in fire and EMS.
Right.
And giving them that space is very important.
We're headed toward the day room, but we've got some functions before we get there.
Okay.
On our left is the domestic laundry.
The domestic laundry.
Right.
Okay.
So this is where we will. It's a little messy, but this is our domestic laundry.
Okay. So this is where we're doing our sheets and our blankets and all that kind of stuff that are personal clothes.
Right.
Okay.
Linen is done here. Some of the guys will bring their own stuff from home occasionally and do it, and that's okay. And then we have the two officers have bedrooms up here. So there's actually a total of 12 bedrooms in the station.
Right.
And that puts them closer to everything, in the middle of everything by using these two positions. Further on up is the day room.
Okay.
And day room and kitchen combination.
All right, nice.
Of course,
big
this is
day
our
room.
back entrance, 3 refrigerators. Now, right now, we designed it to get bigger refrigerators in time. One of the things that ADA requires is a 34-inch sink. So we do these sinks it acts as a prep sink. But I like to put the thing in at 34 inches for the whole counter.
Okay.
Rather than step it up.
Right.
And if you look across the edge of this, you'll see that counter is 38 inches.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 2 inches higher than a standard residential counter.
It looks like we got a couple guys fixing dinner for tonight. Smells awesome already. Thank you guys.
And the other station is going to come over.
Okay.
And the table here, the big spool that was made by the firefighters.
I also see that you got plenty of recliners. You got some memorabilia up in the cabinets.
Right.
TV to kind of sit and relax when you're in between calls.
Absolutely. Now on the other side of that wall is the mechanical room and the electrical room with outside entrances.
Okay.
So that way, if anybody has to get here, they can get in and do what they need to do. The firemen don't have to be here. They're on a call, they're out on an inspection, they're out on a walkthrough. Nothing's worse than having somebody come out to check something in one of those rooms and they can't get to it.
Okay.
So we have outside entrances and all that stuff.
Right. These are the pantries for everybody's A, B, and C platoon, I assume?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, the drawing is backwards. You notice it should be A, B, and C.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I said it right.
Yeah, you said it right. Now, this is another hallway that ties everything together. And then this is the duty officer's office. Then we have a janitor's closet. And then we have unisex bathrooms. There are 4 of them.
Okay.
So it's neither male nor female. It's whoever gets there, closes the door, and locks the door behind them.
Right.
So, and as you can see, they're barrier-free.
Okay.
So if we have a firefighter that might be on light duty within a wheelchair or something like that, that come out here and help with some of the administrative stuff, some of the paperwork, they can get in and out of this thing without any difficulty.
Right. And it's got a nice slope to it, and you got the drains and everything like that.
Right, and we design them so if water comes out from under the shower curtain, there's a drain in the floor and there's a drain in the shower.
Nice. Now I noticed the big map on the side. Can you kind of show me where we're at in relation to where we're on the map here? So this is the lake that you were talking about. This is what we drove by.
This is Lake Hartwell. This is the university.
Yeah.
The university property is about 600 or 700 acres of university.
Okay.
But just 80,000 acres. All this vacant land up here.
Yeah.
That's university forest.
Wow.
This is a research institution.
Okay.
So there's a lot of croplands around and things like that. Not all of it is here.
Right.
Now we're out on right here.
Okay, there it is. Yep.
Okay.
But you have house 1 here and you have house 2 here, right? Okay. That's a good coverage area.
Yeah, it was a little difficult. I don't know whether the chief would tell you this or not, but on football weekend, we can have 140,000, 150,000 people in town.
Yeah, that's a good college game. I mean, it's Clemson University.
So all 3 shifts work on football weekends.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Chief Cramer's office is out here. Hey, Chief, how are you?
Hey, Chief.
Hey,
Thanks for inviting us in.
absolutely welcome.
Yeah, we were actually just taking a look at your map here, seeing where the different stations and stuff were. We're at Station 2, as Don was saying, and he's kind of showing the territory. You have a number 1 station here.
We do.
Could we go take a look at
Oh,
that?
absolutely, sure. That was the original station. It covers primary responsibilities covering campus.
Okay.
Where the main body of the students are and all the buildings. So yeah, we'd love to take you over there and show you around.
Okay, so before we go to the engine bay, we're gonna go over to Station 1, do a quick tour of that, and then we'll come back. But before we do that, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, smash those like buttons to tell us what you think, and we'll come back to this one to finish it up. So Chief, this is the station number 1 that's actually on campus, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So this is the station that we just really moved out of.
Okay.
So this was the station that was built in the early 80s, 1980, 1981. At the time, it was, small department, 2 or 3, 4 guys on shift at the time, and a chief.
Okay.
And in fact, we're standing right where the original chief's office was located.
Right.
So you had the chief here, a couple of firefighters, and they took care of all of campus at the time.
Out of this little house here.
At this little house.
Okay. So do you have live-ins then here since you're on campus? Were there live-ins at the time?
So yes, years ago, it was a student-ran program. So you had students who came to school here and then also came over and worked as firefighter and EMTs on the fire trucks.
That's a good way to do that. Get your education and get a little bit of work in and give back to the community.
Unfortunately, they done away with the program a few years ago, so I'm kind of working to maybe bring that back into play.
That'd be a good idea. So, can we take a look at the house and see
absolutely,
what you got?
yeah, come on in.
All right. So this would be the main entrance where public would come in, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Again, just to small hallways. We have a map of the campus here, as you can see.
This gives me a pretty good perspective of where we came from.
And it also shows the rest of the city of Clemson, which we're also responsible for.
Okay.
All right. So we employed by the university employees, but we also by contract cover the city of Clemson for fire suppression.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming on through, we store all of our medical supplies, or at least the narcotics, in this locked room there.
Because you're, like we said before, you're ALS certified, so you do transports at the ALS level, at the highest level we
That's
have.
correct. We have 4 medic units as part of our fleet.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So when the station first opened years ago, there were no females. In fact, it wasn't many years ago that they actually added the first female bathroom to the station.
Yeah, right.
So we have the men's room here, women's room there,
Okay.
full locker rooms.
Love the patch wall.
Yeah.
So is this something that you guys have been doing over years, or has been here?
Yeah, it's been here for a long time. Yeah, well before me. So,
Okay.
but you can see lots of folks stopped in and handed patches off.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
But again, we're in the what we call the bunk room wing, where all the sleeping quarters are. And just quick note, this here was my office when I arrived 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
It was a bunk room, and we needed the space, so we had to go.
Yeah.
And, so now.
And those are the kind of things that we have to realize when we're looking at the stations that are getting outgrown, whether that's new staff coming in or new facilities that need to be built. We had to make room for what you need, and that's an awesome way to do that. But now you have that new building, and it's much, much better.
That's correct. Yep. Give us some extra space. So typical sleeping quarter. There's Lieutenant. And
Hi, Lieutenant.
that's Kevin.
Thanks for inviting us in.
How are you?
So nice to meet you.
You are?
Mike.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Near Philadelphia area?
Oh, okay. Up north.
Yep.
from Rochester, New York.
Okay, so I'm in Chester County, where Westchester University is.
All right.
Thank you for your service.
No, love
We're
doing
just taking a look at your house real quick.
So typical bunk room, 2 beds, lockers.
Yep.
So, you know,
Old
we,
guy stuff, yeah.
old guys, we have enough space here to sleep 2. We have 1 here, this is the captain's office.
Okay.
All right, so 3,
Yep.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
Wow.
9 sleeping quarters.
That's a lot of sleeping quarters for a small footprint.
Yeah, well, you're having to double up, which,
Yeah.
you know, maybe ideal, maybe not, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well,
but-
we've been to different firehouses. We went down to Denver, Colorado, and they had 10 all in one room. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and they preferred it that way.
There you go. There you go. Great board here. So here's where we recognize all of our firefighters of the year, and it goes all the way back to 1974.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And but yeah, we keep it up to date, do it every year, and it's just a great way to recognize the good work that everybody does.
So, if I were an employee here, how would I be able to get on this board? What do I need to do to make firefighter of the year?
Above and beyond, right? It's not about just coming to work, doing your job, going home, right? It's about coming to work, pitching in where you can, especially on your days off, coming back, special duties, picking up projects, things of that nature there, and going above and beyond.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and these are voted on by employees.
Oh, they're voted on. Nice.
Yep.
That's a good way to do that.
So.
I see it all too often in kind of the sports realm that, you know, the coach picks the player of the year kind of stuff.
Right.
Having your staff and your peers pick you is a
There you
good
go.
way.
That's right. That's right. Coming in now, going into really it's our kitchen day room combination,
Okay.
and some more of the staff. And
Hey guys, nice to meet you all.
Hi, nice to meet you.
but you know, it's a 1980, 81 building, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's had a lot of I guess uplifts over the years, but it's definitely time for something major. But
Okay.
you know, and this is where we cook all the meals, have the you know, have
This is where most of the problems are solved.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
but you got a nice kitchen. You got you know what you have to do. You got your reclining chairs for in between the calls and everything else too.
And it makes shifts for training, so we can throw some training up on the big screen as well. Have the dry erase board, and
Right.
but you know, a place for the folks to relax if they're not in their room, and anyway, gather and have a meal. right?
Okay. Since we have everybody on camera, do you mind just doing a quick introduction who everybody is?
No, absolutely.
All right.
So, Captain Jessica Landreth.
Nice to meet you.
She actually leads the entire shift. She's
Okay.
our shift commander for today.
All right.
Yep. And we have firefighter Jason Ham,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
and that's Micah,
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
and there's Cameron.
All right. Thanks for inviting us in, guys. So how do you get to the engine bay from here, or the apparatus bay?
So we have 2 different ways. So the hallway that we came in from the front door goes out to the apparatus bay.
Okay.
And then this hallway here we're standing in front of also goes to the bay. So we have 2 kind of direct routes out.
Okay. Is there anything else in the building that I may have missed that we haven't talked about yet?
Not a whole lot. No.
Okay.
So you saw the 2 small offices, and we do have some space here in front of us in the hallway where the firefighters have like a workstation to do the reports and things like that.
Okay.
So we're going to walk right past that as we head out.
All right.
We do have one board I'll point out, which is our board that's called First Arriving Company.
Yep.
And you may be familiar, maybe not, but anyway, it's a great place for folks to come and check out daily schedule, the hydrants that are scheduled to do that day, what's on the training schedule, what the weather is, you know, if we're getting close to, you know, red flag or black flag.
Okay.
So it's a great information board. Calls pop up here when the calls come in. We get a countdown timer on it, so you'll know what your turnout times are.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, it's a good device. It really, for me, it replaces the old corkboard information that we used to put up.
There you
So,
go. That's
yeah,
it.
I love those things.
So technology, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and here's that office space I was talking about. Again, kind of cramped quarters, but you know, we make the best of it. There's
Yep.
some storage for some. These are all of our special event bags. So if I'm going to be, say, at a soccer game today, and I'm going to be on a cart, I'll grab the cart, grab my bags for that cart, and we'll throw it on, and then we drop down.
Okay. So
So-
your special events, you have a lot. When we drove through campus, you have a lot of different fields.
We do.
Are you required to put an ambulance at those, or can you use a cart, like a golf cart or something like that?
Sure. So they prefer us to have the medic there, but you know, if push comes to shove, if we are multiple events going on and we don't have the ambulances to put there, then we will send out a cart with a paramedic and an EMT
Okay.
to cover the event, and we make the best of it.
Yeah.
We always have the on-duty staff that need to transport. They'll run out there and make the transport if necessary.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, we make the best of what we got. Right.
Absolutely. Yep, that's what we do.
And then straight out to the apparatus bay here.
It's a pretty good size apparatus bay.
Yeah, for a small facility, 3 bay pull through on all 3, which is nice. So we have our primary medic that goes out, and then our primary engine.
Okay. Now our viewers are going to ask, do you know the make, year, model of each of the vehicles? Do you remember those?
I do not.
Okay,
I'll be
fair
honest
enough.
with you. So.
Yeah. All right, so you run an engine. Do you have a ladder then also?
We do have a ladder.
Okay.
Yep. It's a 2016 Sutphen.
Okay.
And it's a 100-foot platform.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's primary, secondary unit?
Backup medic, correct.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the bay there, we have a brush unit.
Okay.
So basically wildland, and also we do have some parking decks downtown Clemson, and so those work great for car fires inside the parking deck.
Yeah, I
So-
wouldn't even thought of that. You know, I think of a brush truck, almost open wilderness. I'm going through college town. It really doesn't, in my mind, didn't apply.
Right.
But having it for, you know,
Parking decks is huge, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So-
Oh, looks like someone's coming back
Might be
in
the ladder
here.
truck.
All right. So the other thing that I noticed when we're out here, you actually have your fitness program out here. You have some of your training props, the stuff that the typical firehouse you have to have
That's
to
right.
keep up on your fitness and well-being.
For sure. And again, when this station was built, physical fitness was, I guess, a priority at the time here,
Yeah.
right? So as we grow, obviously that's now become much more of a priority for us.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to design some space into the, we're going to have this station upfit and uplifted.
Okay.
Right, with an addition.
Okay.
And so we're going to be hopefully bringing our weight equipment into more of a structured weight room.
Nice.
Getting it out of the apparatus bay, away from the diesel fumes and things like that.
Okay.
So,
All right. So how about we head back to the other station and we'll finish that up now.
sounds great.
So now we're back at Station 2, and we're going into the engine bay because we hadn't done that yet. But as we're walking up, what is this over to the side? I notice this is a kind of a small pony wall, right?
Yeah, what it's doing is screening the HVAC systems.
Okay.
And so we put this is kind of a hidden corner. You can get to the IT room from here, but the noise of this is not going to ever affect anything in the station. Well, this is the engine from the other station.
Okay.
They're visiting here.
They're visiting here, okay.
They heard we were cooking tonight, so they're coming over to.
All right. Chief, before we go, thank you very much for showing us around. Don's going to finish this up here, and we'll catch up to you a little bit.
Great.
All right. Now this bay looks different from the other bay. The other bay that we were at was Station 1 when Chief was walking us around was a pull-through, but they kind of went out both sides. Right. This one they use as a pull-through, correct?
If there's nothing behind it, usually this engine is the pull-through.
Okay.
When there isn't, there's another ambulance back there,
Oh.
so it can go in either direction.
Okay.
So there's 4 ALS ambulances that belong to the university.
Gotcha.
2 of them are staffed, and then this one will back up the county.
Okay.
As a switchover.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you kind of walk me through the apparatus bay? Tell me what you got. I know it's a mezzanine, a couple other different things.
Well, we did the mezzanine. We pulled the apparatus support spaces into the building, into the envelope of the thing, and that gave us the mezzanines. And you can see how the guys then have built all kinds of training props
Yeah.
up here on this level, and that gets used a good bit. The other thing it allowed us to do is the air compressor, which is a very noisy piece, is lifted up.
Right.
And it's away from your work area. And there's another confined space rescue
Yeah.
piece that they've added. The other thing, if you look at the shed roof,
Yeah.
at Station 1, you can't tip anything inside. So Chad had to do all his work, winter or summer, out on the apron.
That can be cold.
And so he was pressing for, I want to be able to work on the trucks inside. So our 100-foot Sutphen platform can be raised inside, the cab can be tipped inside, he's in the shade working.
That's really good. The fact that as a consultant, and you went to each of the guys, you went to your maintenance guy, right?
Yes.
You talked to the firefighters, you talked to the chief, you talked to the township, you talked to everybody to get this station to be what it is.
Right.
I want to thank you for that. That's amazing. One of the challenges that we've had is getting people to get that buy-in from all these groups.
I always work on the thing, I want the firemen to think of this as my station. I helped design it, and if they get that buy-in, they'll take care of it.
Yeah.
In the long run. Now, this is our first station with infrared heaters.
So you got 2 ambulances here. You got, looks like a brush truck, the 2 engines, and a couple of boats.
Right, that's new.
Okay.
If you build a space,
They'll fill it.
they'll fill it. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so over here is the decon room and extractor, right?
And then the cascade room, which has also got, there's your extractor.
Nice.
I like to put doors on these side rooms so they stay They stay fairly clean. Nothing from in here is going to get in there.
Yep.
Nothing very pretty to look at in here, but you know, you got your compressor, your cylinder fill station.
Sure. Well, a lot of the companies that we go to throughout the country, they end up, going to neighboring people that don't have a compressor, or they, buy the bottles of Cascade and they do look. So having their own compressor here, it's pretty cool.
We have people come here to fill their bottles.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
They're from the neighboring departments that
Okay.
don't have a compressor.
Okay. And this is your mechanics room.
This is the mechanics room.
Okay.
Another thing I would point out is we have infrared heat up here.
Yeah.
If you're under the truck, that infrared doesn't get to you. It still can be pretty cool in there.
Right.
But it's not as cold as working outside.
Well, Don, I want to thank you very much. Unless there's something else that I'm missing, we pretty much hit all the important parts of the station.
I think so.
The fact that you were instrumental. First of all, you were a firefighter here years ago.
Yes.
So you have a heart and a passion for it, and you were a consultant on helping design this thing.
Right. The city manager at the time knew that he wanted me to be involved in the thing, that regardless of what team got the bill project. So I actually was the city's representative on this project. I wrote the RFQ, and I was in it to turn the door and took possession of the station.
Right.
And I was on the construction site just about daily.
All right.
As the thing. So any problem that arose, we were able to take care of it and work it out.
Well, thank you for doing it. Thank you for opening the doors and letting Heroes Next Door take a view of this.
I love your channel and glad to see this
All right.
on there.
Thank you all for watching. Once again, this was Heroes Next Door. This was the Station Chris with Clemson University Fire Department. Thank you all for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification, smash those like buttons, and make some comments. We really want to hear from you. We'll see you again next week. Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you.
The battery just